Have you ever asked yourself, what is blocking my blessings? We invite you to learn the truth about it. This video is a fascinating study about times God was willing to bless people, but he couldn't. You'll learn one of the most surprising moments in the Gospels that caused Jesus to marvel. It answers the question, what was it that caused even Jesus to be amazed? And why were so few miracles performed in Nazareth? Did the people's rejection of him limit what they received? And how could an omniscient Christ be amazed by something he already knew would happen? You'll learn the meaning of the Greek word thaumazō, which is translated to marvel. You will learn the psychology behind Nazareth's rejection and the powerful spiritual lesson hidden in that story. You'll learn in this eye-opening study how familiarity can become spiritual blindness and why that warning still matters today. So let's get started. We begin by asking, what could possibly make the Son of God marvel? Think about that for a moment. Jesus calmed storms. He raised the dead. He knew people's thoughts before they spoke. According to Colossians 2 verse 9, the fullness of deity dwelled in him bodily. This means he was omniscient. So why does Mark chapter 6 tell us that Jesus marveled at unbelief? And here's an even bigger question. If Jesus was omniscient, how could he marvel at something he already knew was coming? And why did his hometown receive only a handful of miracles while other cities witnessed astonishing displays of divine power? Stay with me, because the answer reveals a danger that still threatens people today. Mark 6 verses 5 and 6 states, "He could do no mighty work there except that he laid his hands on a few sick people and healed them. And he marveled because of their unbelief." At first glance, skeptics seize upon this passage.
They ask, if Jesus is God, how could he not perform miracles?
But that's not what the text is saying. Matthew's parallel account provides an important clarification. Matthew 13 verse 58 says, "He did not do many mighty works there because of their unbelief." Notice the difference. Mark emphasizes what happened, while Matthew explains why it happened. This was not a failure of power. It was a deliberate withholding of signs. Jesus wasn't powerless. He was making a judicial decision. And that raises another question. Why would Jesus intentionally limit miracles? Luke chapter 4 gives us the missing context. Jesus stood and read from Isaiah, then applied the passage to himself. The audience was amazed for a few moments. Then everything changed.
They began asking, isn't this Joseph's son?
In other words,
We know this man. We watched him grow up. We know his family. We know his occupation.
so they were offended. Their problem wasn't lack of evidence. Their problem was excessive familiarity. You see, the ordinary facts they knew about Jesus prevented them from accepting the extraordinary truth about him, and their rejection escalated rapidly.
By the end of the encounter, they were attempting to throw him off a cliff.
Think about that. The Messiah was standing in front of them, yet their prejudice blinded them to what was obvious. And that blindness explains why miracles became fewer, because signs are designed to confirm truth. But when people are committed to rejecting truth, did you catch that? When people are committed to rejecting truth, providing additional evidence can sometimes produce even deeper rebellion rather than greater faith. The Greek word translated marveled is thaumazō. It means to wonder, to be amazed, to regard something with astonishment. But wait, if Jesus already knew their response, how could he be astonished? The answer lies in understanding what the gospel writers are communicating. Jesus was not surprised by their unbelief. He foresaw it. He predicted it. He understood it before it happened. His marveling was not ignorance. It was a divine expression of grief and amazement at the irrationality of human rebellion. Imagine possessing perfect knowledge. Imagine seeing overwhelming evidence. Imagine standing face to face with the Son of God and still choosing unbelief. That is what Jesus marveled at, not because he didn't know it was coming, but because sin is so tragically unreasonable. Now the story turns toward us. Nazareth's problem wasn't lack of information. It was familiarity without faith. They knew facts about Jesus, but they failed to trust him. And that danger remains today. Many people know Bible stories. They know Christmas. They know Easter. They know religious language. Yet familiarity can sometimes create blindness. We can become so accustomed to hearing truth that we stop seeing its significance. The Nazarenes looked at the Son of God and saw only a carpenter. The question is, what blessings might we miss when familiarity replaces faith? The remarkable ending is that rejection did not stop Christ. Mark tells us he simply went throughout the surrounding villages teaching. While many rejected him, he continued his mission. While many closed their doors to him, others opened their doors. The lesson is profound. Human free will can resist truth. Prejudice can blind the mind. Familiarity can harden the heart. Yet God's work continues. And perhaps the most sobering question of all is this: could something become so familiar in your life that you no longer recognize the miracle standing right in front of you?